stronger cancer care.
Albertans deserve support from the very beginning of their journey and every step that follows.
Details on a new provincial program for fertility and the expansion of screenings. Plus, more federal housing funding.
Calgary will receive our latest $64.7 million Housing Accelerator Fund payment as of today.
The cash is coming in despite the city repealing blanket rezoning. And it's Earth Day.
Doesn't matter how small it is, you can make a difference.
How one local collaboration is using recycled materials to make a difference.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Jacqueline Wilson.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Alberta has made changes allowing younger people to access free breast screening and offering some cancer patients fertility funding. While health advocates support increasing access to public health care, doctors worry the changes could push more people into an already overburdened system. Alicia Fieldberg reports.
Choosing potentially life-saving cancer treatment can impact the ability to have children, and acting to preserve eggs, sperm, or embryos costs thousands of dollars. Alberta is investing $2 million to help some families facing these tough choices.
This program will pay for IVF treatment for more than 250 patients, helping them preserve the possibility of building a family after treatment.
It makes me emotional to know that other Albertans will have an easier time navigating this challenge because the government is acting on this important issue.
Most other provinces already offer fertility programs to support a wider range of people, not just cancer patients.
So this is where we're starting, and we'll keep looking at it.
The province also announced in 2027, Albertans will be able to choose to get breast screening without a doctor's referral starting at age 40 instead of age 45.
This change will make more than 193,000 additional women eligible for screening.
Doctors have already warned testing without expert opinion will further burden a healthcare system with long wait lists for diagnostics and create stress and risks for patients.
They may find a little lump there that is benign. It's a cyst. It's not cancer. But then they have to get more tests and they have to get biopsies, and bad things could happen with indiscriminate testing.
The province recently announced Bill 29 will soon allow people to get other diagnostic tests they want without a doctor's referral by paying private clinics, with a possibility for reimbursement in certain serious cases. Doctors worry that for-profit testing will attract workers instead, when resources are already tight for doctor-recommended testing.
I can't get an ultrasound for a pregnant woman in her 30s that's bleeding internally with her pregnancy after hours that might save her life because we don't have enough ultrasound technologists in all of our hospitals.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
Albertans 40 and older will be able to access breast screenings without referrals starting April 1st of 2027. And details on the other diagnostic tests that Albertans will be able to order by pay out of pocket as expected in the fall. Well, the province has released its final report on the province-wide engagement of the future of nuclear energy. Now, the report found a general interest in nuclear energy among those who took part, although there were questions around safety and radiation, nuclear waste management, and the impact on the environment. The Utilities Minister says that he's planning to start a nuclear roadmap in 2027, which could lead to legislation in the coming years, but it will take a while before nuclear power could be a part of the electrical grid.
10 years is the absolute quickest that we'd see a project begin in the ground and to be constructed and operational. It's just going to take that amount of time with the current federal regulations and environmental impact assessment, and then construction as well as supply chain.
More than 600 people took part in the in-person sessions, with another 6,000 responses to public surveys. Premier Danielle Smith says that Albertans need to try permanent daylight saving time before they decide whether they like it.
Let's see how people are after they've lived it through this winter, because again, as I say, no one's shy of telling me what their opinion is, and so I'm sure we'll get a gauge on whether or not people think that we've made a mistake.
Smith says she suspects Albertans will prefer a later sunrise in the winter as opposed to a 4 a.m. rise in this summer. The Premier says the time change question could be added to the ballot during next year's provincial election, but it won't be part of this October's referendum. Smith says that is just too close to the fall time change, and industries like airlines and the NHL need more notice. The federal government appears to be looking at a pipeline path from Alberta to the coast of BC, and it's not necessarily Alberta's choice. Premier Danielle Smith has promoted a northern route to Prince Albert, but others are starting to look south. Kevin Green explains.
BC has long maintained Danielle Smith's preferred northern pipeline route is a no-go. Now the Globe and Mail reports Ottawa is also favouring a southern path to the Port of Vancouver.
If this report indicates federal government acceptance of that point of view, I think that's a good development.
Calgary's Chamber of Commerce says if the rerouting speeds building a pipeline, that's the way to go.
1 million barrels to the coast, however we can get it there, is something that's on everybody's mind. I think that, obviously pipelines are the best way to do that, not by rail.
Alberta plans to submit a pipeline plan by July 1st, but in a statement to CTV, a spokesperson for Alberta's premier said the province isn't married to just one pipeline path, writing, Alberta is leading the evaluation of all practical routes to ensure the proposal is economically viable, socially responsible, and respectful of First Nations. A southern route alongside or near the existing Trans Mountain still requires a lot of work, notably dredging the harbour in Vancouver. BC-based environmental groups don't like it.
Regardless of whether the route was in the north or in the south, we don't support another pipeline. I think there's a lot better uses of our federal dollars and a lot of other projects we could be putting our energy into.
But pipeline advocates say moving oil to the coast and to export is a must, not just for Canada, but for the entire world.
And we need to seize the moment and get in the game and help our allies and trading partners out with the resources that we have as a win-win right now in a world of incredible energy reliability concerns.
A spokesperson for the federal energy minister wouldn't confirm they have a preferred route to the west coast, saying only they look forward to seeing Alberta's proposal in due course, and further speculation on project specifics would be hypothetical. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
A new survey shows a majority of Albertans support medical assistance in dying, but they are divided on how the province plans to restrict access under proposed legislation. The poll by ThinkHQ found 71% of Albertans approve of Canada's current MAID provisions, 23% disapprove, and 6% are unsure. But Albertans appear far more divided on the province's proposed changes under Bill 18, which would limit eligibility to adults whose condition is likely to cause death within 12 months. 46% approve of the bill and another 46% disapprove.
Nobody likes to think about their own mortality, but certainly in Alberta, there is an overall wide level of support for having the option available to people who are suffering. A lot of people would at least want to have that option themselves.
The survey was conducted April 9th to 13th among 1,100 Albertans with a margin of error of plus or minus 2.9%, 19 times out of 20. Federal government is reaffirming money to support home building in Calgary despite the city repealing blanket rezoning. It had been a multi-million-dollar question mark for months as council considered scrapping the plan. Here's Jordan Canigan.
Exactly 2 weeks after voting to repeal blanket rezoning, a major issue is resolved.
Calgary will receive our latest $64.7 million Housing Accelerator Fund payment as of today. That funding is secure.
As debate swirled about the future of zoning in Calgary, city officials warned federal funding could be at risk if the zoning bylaw was scrapped.
The announcement today from the Housing Accelerator Fund is exactly what we were hoping for. It's exactly what we were thinking it would be.
Ottawa pledged $251 million to boost housing in Calgary, but the payments come in installments. A letter from the federal housing minister to the mayor confirms Calgary will receive the money if conditions are met, including adopting zoning rules to allow a minimum of 4 units to be built on a lot for a significant majority of lots across the city, with a plan developed by October 27th, 2026.
Let's look at maybe what we can do as an average citywide, but not necessarily make it specific as to 4 for every single unit, every single lot. There's some places it makes no sense to have 4. In some places, it makes more sense to have 8 or 10 or 12.
Housing advocates applaud the funding, but say the work is far from finished.
I'm glad to see that the federal government is reminding the city of its commitment to sort of remove exclusionary zoning, to end this practice of having exclusionary zoning throughout the city.
I will say, as the mayor of Calgary, I'm ultimately responsible to Calgarians. I'm not responsible to the provincial government or the federal government.
Jordan Cadigan, CTV News, Calgary.
A Southeast Calgary Dairy Queen in Orange Julius has been ordered to close over mice infestation. The restaurant is located in a strip mall on Fairmont Drive near Southland Drive Southeast. According to Alberta Health Services, mice feces was found throughout the restaurant along with a nest. The spot will remain closed until it's cleared of issues by AHS. Danielle, I really can't believe how windy it was when I got out of my car today. I had to hold on to the door so it didn't slam into a coworker's. It was rough.
So be prepared to hold on to that door for the next 3 days.
Oh, okay.
I know. It will continue to be gusty on and off right through Saturday morning. And for tomorrow, we're still looking at a good amount of cloud cover for the day, but we should see some sunny breaks in the morning hours. But yes, 60 to 70 kilometer per hour gusts possible, and just the freezing mark at 8 a.m., only getting to a high of 4 in the afternoon. We have so much to talk about in this longer range forecast. I'll have all the details just ahead.
Sounds good. We'll check in again soon. Well, how would you like to drive a golf cart around town? Up next, Rockview County is surveying residents on using golf carts on public roads.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Rockview County wants to hear from its residents about taking part in a provincial pilot project. You may not just see golf carts on the fairway. They could be on some roads far from the golf course. Moses Waldo has more.
An initiative from the province has made it legal for golf carts to go from the cart path to residential roads. With more than half a dozen municipalities giving the green light, Rockview County is looking to do the same for its community residents.
So our discussions with the other municipalities that have engaged in the pilot program have helped us to shape our survey.
Coaldale was one of the first in Alberta to run the project, while Sylvan Lake has started theirs this month. Rockview County has reached out to their communities to help provide questions in an online survey for their residents of Harmony and Langdon.
With relation to things like safety, implementation, the costs, the permitting, those sorts of processes.
Avid golfers in the area seem to like the idea.
100%. That's probably why they want to live in the area, right? Easy access, so I think it's good.
It's always fun to drive a golf cart too, right? No matter where it is.
And so does one Calgary business.
On a personal transportation vehicle, probably last year, I'm going to say probably a couple weeks. Depending.
Thad Clausen of Oak Creek Golf and Turf says having nearby communities adopt the program will open up new business.
We have carts in residential, like campground residential areas. So this would be just a further expansion of that market.
While the online survey is largely targeting those in Harmony and Langdon, the county says the survey is open to all communities it represents.
If other communities come forward and determine that they feel that it would be beneficial in their community as well, that's something that will also be explored.
Moses Woldu, CTV News, Rockview County.
Well, to take part, residents can head to the county's website, engage.rockview.ca. Survey closes April 30th. Well, a Lethbridge gymnastics coach has been acquitted of all sexual interference charges. 37-year-old Jamie Ellicott, formerly of the Lethbridge Gymnastics Academy, was acquitted of 5 charges following a trial. The justice found the complainant's testimony is unreliable and that 2 of them discussed evidence before and after their interviews. Charges have been laid in an organized fraud scheme which resulted in Calgarians losing over $1 million. The scammers pretended to be calling from the victim's bank, telling them that their accounts have been compromised. They often have personal details and financial information and manipulate victims into providing banking credentials. Victims are then told that their cards will be picked up by a courier. The offenders then use the cards and information to drain bank accounts. More than 80 such incidents were reported last year, with losses of about $1.3 million. 2 men from Ottawa and 1 from Edmonton are facing charges. A Calgary murder suspect was arrested in Abbotsford, BC on Tuesday. The Combined Forces Special Unit made the high-risk takedown. Calgary police are remaining tight-lipped for now, not releasing the name of the suspect or elaborating on the murder that he's been accused of committing. We'll share more details when they become available. Well, in other news, a notorious BC gangster who masterminded the Surrey 6 killings in 2007 has been released from prison, and they will be living in Alberta. Authorities say that Jamie Bacon will be closely monitored in Edmonton after being released with conditions and a curfew. He was sentenced to 18 years in prison after pleading guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to murder in 2020. 6 people were executed in a Surrey apartment. 4 of the victims were targeted. Another 2 were innocent bystanders. The murders were carried out in advance of the illicit drug business of the Red Scorpion gang. Alberta's Justice Minister says the province's new bill will target people making AI deepfakes, but the enforcement might be a little tougher. This comes after a report identified a network of YouTube channels targeting Albertans with false information. The channels pose as Albertan voices that push U.S. annexation and Alberta separation. Mickey Amory says that anything that breaks Alberta's election rules is under provincial jurisdiction. He says that cooperation with other areas will be needed. Well, Danielle Savoni is along next with her Skywatch weather forecast. Stay with us.
All right, well, this is the week where we have all the seasons. So Monday and Tuesday came with summery type weather. Today, yep, spring-like. And then for Friday and Saturday, we're heading into wintry weather. It's going to be cold and, yes, snowy. All right, for the last 2 days, daytime highs have been 22 degrees in the city. Today we did get to 15, but that was at the midnight hour, and then temperatures cooled throughout the day rather than warm like we talked about. 17 was the high in Lethbridge, same idea earlier in the day. Medicine Hat did get into the 20s today, but oh boy, was it a windy one. Medicine had 80 kilometer per hour. That was the maximum gust, and around that 70 mark for Lethbridge, Calgary, and Brooks. And we can expect around that 70 mark for Calgary, Brooks, Lethbridge areas right through the next few days, in fact, right until Saturday morning. Medicine Hat 70, 80, and south of Medicine Hat around Foremost and Many Berries, 90 kilometer per hour gusts possible. All right, here's a look at that system and what it did earlier today. That heavy rain didn't quite make it into the city. We saw some isolated showers, but the heavier rain developed to the east of the city. There are some pockets of that mixed precipitation that are off to the west, so a few flurries possible in the overnight hours for Calgary. Certainly possible. All right, before we get into the next 24 hours, I just want to look longer term for a second in through Friday and Saturday, because that will pack a punch for us for sure. This is the trough, and that's going to intensify, and it's going to, this huge upper level low is really going to develop. Now, when it mainly develops, it will be over Saskatchewan, but the way that spins counterclockwise is going to throw in some snowfall into southern Alberta, parts of southern Alberta, and it's going to drag in some much cooler temperatures. So you're really going to notice that wintry weather for Friday and Saturday. So how this plays out, well, down the mountains, we're looking at snowfall for tonight, up to 20 centimeters possible in the Crow's Nest area, Waterton Park tonight through tomorrow. So there's a snowfall warning in place there as well. All right, just tomorrow, it's actually, other than the winds, calm, because we should see some sunny breaks in the morning in Calgary, and then later in the day, small chance of mixed precipitation, but yes, up to 70 kilometer per hour gusts possible. And then here you go, there's that system that's off to the east that's going to pump in some waves of snow. So on and off flurries. Calgary will be on the outside edge of it, so we won't see as much, and it won't be as consistent as what's going to happen closer to the Saskatchewan border. But as you can see, on and off flurries possible right through Saturday. And daytime highs around the freezing mark. So 70 kilometer per hour gusts possible tonight, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning. A high of 4 for tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies, small chance of late day precipitation, and then on and off flurries Friday and Saturday, about 1 to 3 centimeters of it. Just to give you some hope as we look into the longer range forecast here, because I do want to give you that. Next week looks mainly stable, very bright, and as you can see, much warmer temperatures.
All right, thanks, Danielle. YMCA Calgary and Calgary Public Library have announced a proposed joint-use recreation and library facility in Calgary's West District. It's designed to serve more than 41,000 households. The proposal includes recreational amenities, libraries, and outdoor community space. City Council has already approved initial funding for design and planning, with construction dependent on additional government and philanthropic investment. A unique product has been developed in Calgary to mark Earth Day. Chop Value YYC is turning recycled chopsticks into coasters. Each coaster features a Calgary Wildlife Rehabilitation Society animal that was successfully released back into the wild. The set cost $25, and about $10 from each sale is donated back to Calgary Wildlife.
It's Earth Day today, and I feel like our business is Earth Day every day. So we recycle bamboo chopsticks and turn them into everything from these coasters to furniture.
The company collects used chopsticks from about 200 Calgary restaurants and creates new products in its micro factory. Well, a Calgary community group is preparing to give away 80,000 pounds of free potatoes this weekend. Guru Nanak Free Kitchen Calgary will be set up at the McKnight C-Train station on Saturday and will begin distributing the potatoes at 1 o'clock. So if you plan to snatch some spuds, you're asked to bring your own bag to help speed up the process. The potatoes will be available on a first-come, first-served basis as supplies last. Art masterpieces on display. After the break, we'll share how you can view some fine art like Van Gogh and Emily Carr in Calgary. Welcome back. If you've ever wanted to see a masterpiece up close, now is your chance. Cowley Abbott Fine Art will be hosting a canvas by Renoir that was in a private collection and not seen publicly in almost 40 years. A rare Van Gogh etching, a painting by Emily Carr, and works by the renowned Group of Seven will also be on display. This is the first Western Canadian location for the auction house, which is getting ready for a spring live auction that will include the masterworks. Organizers say that everyone is welcome.
We encourage people to come by and have a look, whether you're a collector or you're just merely interested in the arts, international historical works or Canadian historical works. Everybody's welcome to come in. We have a beautiful Renoir painting and a Vincent van Gogh, which you don't normally see in real life in Calgary.
The live auction is set for May 27th, and it is online. And starting Friday, gently used books can be dropped off for this year's big book sale. Donated books can be dropped off at the Calgary Curling Club between April 24th and May 3rd. This weekend, there will also be a stuff truck donation location throughout the city. This year's Calgary Reads Big Book Sale runs May 8th to the 17th, and money raised goes towards early childhood reading programs in Calgary. All right, well, that's all for us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.